next guest is Helene DeLillo. Did I get both L's in there?
You did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that Italian name?
It is.
Oh, very nice. Photographer. I love photographers because the world is open to you. When did you start?
Well, my first camera I had was a pink Barbie camera when I was a kid.
A pink Barbie camera?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm not sure I should have admitted that on television.
No, it's
okay. The guys would give me problems with that.
But you shot a negative then, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, when I learned professional photography, I learned how to shoot on positive film, on transparencies.
Okay. The 4x5s then? Is that what,
No.
Did you go through the 4x5 stage?
Not really, I didn't. And actually, if I had to load that kind of film in a camera, I'd probably have to get
You would get out of the trade?
No, I wouldn't.
So what kind of work do you do today?
Mainly, I do a lot of portraiture and beauty work.
For whom?
For advertising and magazines.
For the magazines
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
Still a lucrative field?
Yes.
Still can make a buck at it? Let me
I
kind of
believe
hold them up here.
That was actually my first cover ever.
Now, which cover was this now?
This was for a magazine called Digital Camera.
Oh, really?
Magazine, yeah.
And you're shooting a fashion picture?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And
Yeah, it ended up, it was also an advertising campaign for a line of cameras from Kodak.
okay. So you use the Kodak camera and you did this?
When
Were you loyal?
I use all different cameras, actually. I've shot with Canons and Nikons and Mamiya and Hasselblads. So it depends. I like
So which is the most easiest for you to manipulate?
I like the digital SLRs because I can move around the studio freely with them. The medium format digital back cameras are heavier, so for me they're a little bit more challenging.
Clumsy?
No, they're not.
You don't use a tripod then if you move
Well,
it
with
to
the medium format I do use a tripod, and I love the detail of capture, but
Okay.
sometimes I miss
This young lady has a zipper problem.
Yeah.
What was in your mind when you shot this?
Well, actually, this was for a website for a modeling agency, and when the creative team met, one of the ideas the makeup artist had was to have this green, and the shot we used was a very tight shot of the green with the zipper, and it was in a green box, so it was his idea. There was another shot with nails on the girl's eyes as well.
I don't want to see a fad with zippers around one girl's head. It'll separate their heads from their brains or something, you know. Yeah. This is gorgeous. This is
well,
good
thank
work.
you.
Is
That's
this
one
exterior?
Yeah, that was actually outside of the Aveda salon in Soho. I was working with a team from Aveda, and I felt so lucky. This is a beautiful Marc Jacobs dress.
Yes.
And as we were walking outside, I said, please, dear God, let there be some wind. And the wind came. And it was summertime. I actually had a dress on, and I was getting the shot. My dress completely blew up.
Oh, really?
The assistants were laughing. It was very funny.
We want a shot of that.
Yeah, actually, one of my assistants.
Now, were you using diaphragm bounce light on the girl as well?
I was not on that one because there was a big glass building behind her. There was a nice bounce light. Did I have I might have had an assistant holding a reflector. I can't remember.
Well, because it looks like it's got a little help, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. In digital work, can you really touch up, let's say you shot this shot and below the chin it was dark. Can you bring up that area in a digital thing?
Yep, you
Without
actually,
being...
as long as you're shooting in a RAW format, which is generally what I like to capture
What do you
in.
mean by raw format?
When you have a digital camera, you have different ways you can capture the image.
The higher the pixel rate then or something?
Yeah, exactly. You can shoot in a JPEG mode, and the JPEG mode is pretty constricted because you can't really go in and adjust things with the latitude that you can with
Really?
shooting in RAW format. So even on a lot of
Raw format means what? 10?
RAW means it actually captures the image.
Yeah.
When you have a digital camera, there's a sensor on it,
Yeah.
and when you click it,
Yeah.
each square captures either red, green, or blue information, and then it has to process that to give you full color.
Yeah.
When you shoot JPEGs, the reason why it's slow sometimes is because it actually has to process that information. So the professional cameras can do it quicker.
Okay.
So
And boy, did she do this quicker with very little on. What was this for?
this was actually for an ad for the fashion designer who designs the bikinis and the handbags. Her name is Chris Barreto.
Oh, wait a minute. You're going to call that a bikini?
Yeah, that's a bikini. It's a Brazilian designer, so it's a Brazilian bikini.
Little as possible. And this is the handbag back here?
Uh-huh. And it's made out of the same Lycra stretchy material. This is actually, everything in this image is unretouched except for her face.
Okay.
It was an hour in body makeup and then an hour for the
Now, what is the
face
body makeup? Why did it get such a sheen? What did they put, baby oil in it or something?
Actually, he mixes a special potion for the skin and then brushes it on her body. And you have to be really careful.
With a paintbrush or with a...
Actually,
Roller.
he's got big body sponges. In fact, they almost look just like a regular sponge. So he'll mix the makeup up, make it match the skin tone perfectly.
Well, then if
and
you put that on her, then she didn't have to have this. She did obviously put this on after the fact, then, because otherwise you'd have botched up the.
Well, you have to. He has to be very careful.
Yeah.
Usually, she'll put it on. She'll have like
Something
underwear or
right.
something covering her, and then they'll put it on.
And this was done in the studio.
Yep, this was done
by
in my
flash or by.
It was done with strobes. I use big umbrellas and reflectors.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting system that I used on this particular shot was it was a system called the Breezy lighting system, which is from Germany.
Okay, and this appeared where? In Brazil or here?
This was here in the States.
For a magazine.
Yep,
Now-
she did a catalog.
All right, now we get into your electrical wiring system here.
Yeah.
What is this?
These are actually a series of images that are from Hawaii. They grow on Haleakala. And
This is a plant?
yeah, it's actually a flower.
Oh, okay.
And the flower actually looks like a little closed heart, and then it opens up and these things pop out of it. It's quite amazing flower. And this is a series of images I did.
For a second I thought it was a fusion meal or something.
Yeah, well,
So what do you call this one?
this series is called Aumakua.
And that means?
That means the God or spirit, or the God or spirit within. It's a Hawaiian thing, and it's really the spirit of your ancestors that may come through fish or the sun or the ocean or flowers.
All right. Now this,
Is another one of those flowers from...
is it a fly eater?
No.
Because it gives the effect, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I really love this flower. It's one of my favorite ones.
Now, did you touch this up, or is
Nope.
this the actual thing?
Actual
So how
thing.
did you get such a black background behind it?
I used with the lights and the shutter speed. I believe I shot this at like very fast and wide open.
All right. Now, what type of print is this?
This was printed on an Epson printer, and it's printed on a semi-gloss paper.
Yeah.
So it's
How much
got.
do they charge if you went out and had that?
If you go get those printed, anywhere from $20 to $40, depending.
Depending upon how much you're using the.
Yeah, but the problem is sometimes the people running the machines don't actually understand color, and I'm known for color accuracy in my skin tones and my
Do you bring
images.
your samples when you show them what you want?
Usually, if I'm going to print in a lab, I'll go to a place downtown called Beth Schiffner, so I can use their machines. They have the really, really large printers, so
Yeah.
when I did my gallery show, I went in there and printed
Did
it.
they charge you for the rejects?
I believe you get one test print, and then
And then you're on your own. Huh?
then you're on your own.
Okay,
But it's
this is-
very reasonable.
This is a flower also?
Yeah, this is actually part of the Halakonia family,
Okay.
which are one of my favorites.
Where did you get these? Were these all
I
from
actually
Hawaii?
had them shipped from a place called Maui Floral. You can go online and order them, and I've been to the top of Haleakala where this
Oh,
is.
okay. And then you just found them, huh?
Yep.
This is now the same plant?
It's part of the same Halakonia family,
Yeah.
but a different one. I actually call this particular one Bite Me.
Bite me. Now, this is kind of unique. It looks like a dancer, doesn't it?
Yeah, when this is a very special orchid, they ship this also with a bunch of flowers
This
I
is
ordered.
an orchid?
Yeah, and
Really?
to me it reminds me of one of the Balinese dancers
Yes.
that I saw in Bali.
That's what because you eyed. I bet you sold a lot of these, huh?
That one I
think-
sold very large. Yeah, that one I did well.
Now, when you sell these, what price would this size go for?
This size would probably go for about Framed, I think it was like 600.
600. Okay. All right. Very nice.
And then
Gotta pay the rent, as they say. Okay. Who is this young lady?
This young lady is a new hot rock star in New York. Her name is Taï Champagne, and it's her real
Say that
name.
name again.
Taï
Champagne.
Champagne. It's her real last name. She's born and raised in London, and her parents are Jamaican.
Okay.
And her music is really great. She's like a cross between Tina Turner, Lenny Kravitz, and Sade.
In that area. Okay.
Very
so
rock.
this picture was taken for what publication?
For her CD cover.
For a CD cover.
Yeah.
Is the CD out yet?
The CD is just coming out. They're in the studio finishing up some of the stuff.
Oh, here's Heinz.
He was such a sweet man. I worked with him on many occasions, and he was so great with people and with kids.
He's very creative. And then he was here with his brother, and they did a dance here in the studio many, many years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
His
that.
brother dropped out because he was getting overweight, and so that they decided to split at that time.
I didn't know he had a brother. I've met
Yeah.
like his daughter and his.
Heinz and Heinz, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
And they did fun. They always had fun dancing. I was a little bit surprised, but the brother was getting in such a weight problem that it didn't work anymore. And this one is?
This is Omaira Mota, who's a huge Dominican supermodel. She is in X-Men 3 and a bunch of other movies. And this was a beauty shot we did for her. And
So what use was this for?
she asked me to do a portrait of her. She commissioned it for me.
And what did you think of when you got it?
She loved it.
She didn't think
She's amazing.
Do you think there's too much shoulder there?
No.
All right.
I just
To me, it
shot.
would be too much shoulder, but always okay.
I just actually.
No, I mean, because, whatever. All right, off we go. Next.
This is an editorial we did for New York Moves magazine,
All right.
and it was a story on holiday makeup.
Holiday makeup.
Yep.
It looks like you'd spend the whole holiday putting it on. Holiday's over now. You know what I mean? It takes hours to put this on. It's not a quickie.
No, it's not. A lot of people don't realize that for editorials and beauty shoots, that usually it's about an hour for makeup and about an hour for hair.
Yeah. There's no way out of it.
Which is a good thing, because then I can drink my coffee and set my lights up.
Yeah.
I may have to be up
We've
there.
heard that story before. Okay, and this young lady is?
Her name is Donna, don't remember her last name. She
Okay.
was on the reality television show with Candice Bergen.
Okay.
That was all about the next top actress or something like that.
Was this her actual skin, or did you touch it up?
Her skin was touched up in here.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you do that?
I do that, but actually my makeup artist did it. He took a Photoshop class with me. I am very good at Photoshop, and that's actually how I got started.
I don't have the patience for Photoshop.
Well, sometimes people
takes
don't have
endless
porcelain
hours.
skin, so.
Oh. Was that a layered technique you used in the Photoshop?
No, actually, that was restructuring all of the skin. Yeah, a lot of people think, oh yeah, you can hit a filter or blur it. It never
All
works.
right, now obviously it's the eyes on this one, right?
Yeah.
And how did you get the eyes? Did you have to really work at it to get the reflection in the eyes?
The reflection of the eyes, I have a very, very large umbrella that I can put different covers on, and the one I use for this one.
See, you picked up 1, 2, 3 reflections.
Yes, because on the cover of the light is actually, it looks like a window, so there are lines of squares.
You cheated, okay.
It's one of my, I didn't
No.
cheat. I paid enough for the lights. I don't think it was cheating.
Okay, Helene, I thank you. We ran out of time. So what's your next big job coming up, huh?
Well, tomorrow I get to shoot an infant.
An infant? Oh, good luck.
And I've shot babies before, but this it's a friend of a friend, and they said, we can't go to Sears, we want you to do beautiful portrait.
Is it a docile baby?
Apparently the baby keeps them up all night, but better them than me.
Give it milk, it calms them down.
Does?
Okay, now your website is Helene. Now we're going to spell this right here because it's not right on the sheet here, so I'll make sure we have it. It's Helene DeLillo, DeLillo.com. Thank you, very good.
Thank you very much,
Excellent
Jim.
work.
It was a pleasure.
Excellent work. I thank you again. All right, we got a dash because we're running late. We'll be back.